Hello everyone, Johnny here once again, and today we're gonna do the real review of Dior Homme Cologne. Now, when I say real review, it doesn't mean that anybody else's review is fake. No, what I mean by that is that I purchased this fragrance myself with my own money, so I'm not gonna pledge no allegiance to nobody. There's no brand loyalty. I'm a real consumer just like you. There is no affiliate link, so you can click, buy something, and I get some commission. None of that. And most importantly, I am not trying to sell you anything. If I tell you that I like something, that means I really like it. If I tell you that I don't like something, that means I really don't like it. And yes, I am 100% ripping off Flossie Carter on that intro. I am in no way, and I repeat, I am in no way, shape or form claiming that I am an expert or that I know more than anyone else in the fragrance community. I'm just gonna share my thoughts and experience with you so you can make the choice if you drop your hard-earned money on a bottle of perfume or not. Take my review and really anyone's review with a grain of salt. We all have different perceptions, different skin chemistry, and of course, different tastes. So let's get busy. This is my second bottle of Dior Homme Cologne. The first one that I finished a couple of months ago had the previous presentation with its smaller letters in the bottom. This one is the next version. This is a little different presentation-wise, and there is even a newer version with the logo right on the cap. And I have also smelled that one. But the three of them smell exactly the same. Basically, Dior just changed the bottle presentation. That's it. If you're very picky, you might notice some difference here and there, but that's a 2%. All in all, the three versions smell exactly the same, so don't worry about that. So let's start off with one of the most important aspects when it comes to purchasing a new fragrance: the price. Now, there is no point of really telling you how much this fragrance costs right now, because if you're watching this video 2, 3, 5 years from now, chances are price is gonna be a little or a lot higher due to inflation. But today you can get this 125 milliliter presentation for 130 American dollars. Price is always gonna be subjective. There are some people who might save up months just to get this fragrance, and there are other people who can afford 3 or 5 $300 fragrances in a single purchase on a regular basis. Yes, I know people like that, believe it or not. So it depends on each people's economy. But for me, the price is okay. Why am I saying that? Stay tuned for the answer. Is this worth $130? Let's find out. Now let's continue with the notes. According to Dior's website, we have 3 notes: Calabrian bergamot, Moroccan grapefruit blossom, and white musks. That's it. It's a cologne after all. We have great quality notes in here. Personally, I think the bergamot is natural, or at least a part of it. Same thing with the grapefruit blossom, and the musk is obviously synthetic. But it doesn't matter. Just like the whole Dior Homme line, you smell quality in here. Now, what do I smell in here? This is the part of the video that is subjective, because it's my perception and it could vary from your perception. But essentially, what I'm smelling here is almost the quintessential cologne formula. The cologne recipe invented in Cologne, Germany. That's where the name came from. Now, don't quote me on this, because there are a lot of sources saying different things, and it gets very confusing with a lot of information that just doesn't fit. But what all sources have in common is that they mention citruses, bergamot, orange, blood orange, grapefruit, you name it, tangerine, and neroli. So we have the bergamot, which is obviously a citrus, change the neroli, which is the orange blossom, or grapefruit blossom, to make it a little sharper. We add musk to the formula, and that's what we have here. Now, don't get confused with the concentration Eau De Cologne, which is basically the percentage of essential oils used on the fragrance, which goes from 2 to 4% depending on the source you read. So this is a cologne with a little twist. We already talked about that. In concentration, Eau De Cologne. But this fragrance right here, this is fresh, clean, energizing, simple, yet very elegant. The bergamot in here smells bright, pungent, sharp, blending perfectly with the grapefruit blossom that gives this gentle white floral property. But the third element in here, which is the musk, rounds up all of the sharp edges, making this an extraordinary clean, uplifting, elegant, and sophisticated fragrance. In its simplicity, there is its elegance. Now let's talk about a very important topic for a lot of people: The compliments. Personally speaking, I couldn't care less about the compliments. And it's kind of weird because there's a lot of people that buy fragrances with the sole purpose of hopefully feeling validated throughout other people's opinion. That is not my case. I am one of those weird people that buy fragrances just to please myself, and that's it. If some other people like it, great, but I don't really care about that. Now, that being said, I have received a lot, and I mean a lot of compliments wearing this fragrance. Remember, this is my second bottle. Performance. Now, let's talk about performance. But first, let me tell you something. Not all atomizers were created equal. Some of them are average, some of them just get the job done. You got those crappy ones that the atomizer basically spits when you're applying it on your skin and clothing without a consistent burst of perfume. You've also got the famous mist atomizer, but you gotta play with them. Each kind of atomizer is not gonna eject the same amount of perfume. This one is pretty good, just like the whole Dior Homme line. Now, the performance on Dior Homme Cologne is pretty much like the vast amount of traditional colognes that I've tried. I would say pretty disappointing, because you truly smell like an angel, but people must be close to you in order for them to notice the smell. I'm getting an average of 4 hours, maybe 5 on a very good day for my skin, spraying this heavily on both my skin and clothing. And I'm talking about 10 to 15 sprays in total. Now, projection. With that amount of sprays, the initial blast is huge. You'll be projecting 2 meters from you for 10 minutes. Then you'll have it in your personal bubble, let's say within your elbow's reach for another 20 minutes. And then it becomes a skin scent. But, every now and then, the fragrance will give some blasts of smell that will linger around the air, and then people may notice. Remember, not all fragrances were created with the purpose of being projecting like crazy with a longevity of 12 plus hours. There are more subtle scents that were created with the purpose of being more intimate. But unfortunately, the performance turned out to be disappointing. Sadly, due to the volatile nature of the molecules of the ingredients used in this, they evaporate very fast. And that's the reason of the disappointing performance. Now, occasions. Due to the nature of colognes in general, this right here is very versatile. You can wear this all year round, but in my opinion, this is made for hot weather, for the hotter days. Of course, you can pull this off when the sun is up because this is a cologne. This is very refreshing. If you apply this at 6, 7 a.m. before going to work, you're not, I repeat, you're not gonna feel overwhelmed. But chances are that you will need to reapply this later on. You can definitely use this at nighttime as well, but we have far better options on the market for that, even within the same Dior house. Now, compared to this, nighttime fragrances are a lot heavier in both scent profile and performance. But if you're on the beach, on the Caribbean for instance, having the time of your life, or somewhere just really hot and humid, use this thing at nighttime and thank me later. Now, considering what I just said about the performance, you can easily assume that this is not the fragrance that you want to wear when you go out to the nightclub and there's a lot of people smoking cigarettes and God knows what else, or somewhere in open spaces. This is something that I would use for the office, on a business meeting, going to the grocery store, on a date during daytime where you're gonna have close interaction with your significant other. Again, when you're on the beach or somewhere very hot and humid, or even using it when you're fresh out of the shower before going to sleep. But let me tell you something. If the performance was stronger on this, I would easily use this on a daytime wedding because this is very elegant. Again, take that into consideration for the hottest months of the year, because for wintertime, we have far better options. However, if you decide to use this on winter anyways, that's perfectly fine. No one's gonna crucify you. Gender, let's go with gender real quick. This is marketed as a masculine fragrance, just like the whole Dior Homme line, but this is as simple as a citrusy, musky fragrance or cologne. Any woman can also use this, so I would say this is unisex. Maybe a little bit more towards the masculine spectrum, just because categorically colognes are for men. And finally, age. So colognes are timeless, and so is this composition. If a 10 or 12-year-old boy likes this, don't be surprised because the smell is really that pleasant. Literally anyone of any age can use this until the end of their lives. So, quality, excellent. Versatility, 7 out of 10. You need way more performance on the winter months if you want to cut through the cold weather. Performance, I would say the usual behavior of a cologne. Very disappointing. Compliments, check. So personally speaking, I absolutely love this fragrance. I'm never gonna say, you must have this fragrance because we all have different tastes, as I said in the very beginning of the video. But if you're on the mall and you see this, I would encourage you to try this on, especially if you live somewhere very hot. This is like a plain button shirt. You can never go wrong with this. Now, at the end of the day, do what you want with your fragrance. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, is entitled to tell you what to do. This is just my opinion, as I stated in the beginning of the video. If this review was useful to you, I would feel very honored. But at the end of the day, do as you please. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, I really hope you found this video useful. Tack så mycket. Merci beaucoup. Muito obrigado. Dankeschön. Muchas gracias. Kiitos. Grazie mille. Arigatou gozaimasu. See you in the next video.